Welcome to East Coast Elk Reviews. Today, we're doing another brewery review. So today we're going to be talking about Rogue Ales. So I got Bumpy Rogue Brewery here with me today. We both got a Rogue beer. So pretty much we're just going to present our beers and then throw up a rating for them. And then probably pull up a website, talk about the website, talk about some of the beers that they do. These guys actually do spirits as well, which is new to me. I didn't know that, which is pretty cool.
Yep.
So yeah, we'll throw up a rating and we'll average out my rating and Bumpy's rating, and that'll be the rating for the brewery. So yeah, pull up Bumpy, and Bumpy can talk about what he's brought to the show today.
All right. So yeah, speaking of their spirits that they also do, so it's Rogue Ales and Spirits. I got the Dead and Dead Rogue, or the Dead and Dead. I think it's just Rogue's always going to put their big name on there, but it says gratefully dedicated to barrels of fun. The Dead and Dead is Dead Guy Ale aged on oak Dead Guy whiskey barrel chips. On the back says Dead and Dead complements the flavor profile of our classic Dead Guy ale with oak. It has vanilla and fruit notes from the oak Dead Guy whiskey barrel chips. On the back, they always put like the little star thing there and tells you kind of what to expect out of it. So this one is got a decent amount of malt profile, a decent amount of oak. Vanilla is like whoosh, through the roof, and should be a touch of fruit. Very minimal roast to almost none, which is good for me. I'm not really into the kind of coffee flavors that can come from the roasted malts a lot of times. Sometimes it's okay. This comes in at 9.5% ABV. The other thing that I like that they do is they do give you food pairings down below. It says coconut shrimp, ribeye, one of my favorite types of steak is a nice ribeye, and chocolate souffle. Speaking of the 9.5% ABV, it also has 40 IBUs to this one. It's a color of 26 SRM, so it's pretty dark. Let's pour it.
Cool.
Lots of information they give you on this can, on the cans of their stuff, so I think that's pretty cool.
I do remember that with the bat squatch that I had in the Honeyculture, but I have a bottle, so it doesn't show the star on the bottle.
No star for the bottle.
No star.
Yeah, it pours with a very tight bubbled head. It is an off-white, kind of almost yellow head. The color of the beer itself it's an amber of sorts, a little bit of a yellowish honey color down in the reservoir down here, at least on my end with the light. So yeah, a nice amber, deep orange. This does have a lot of haze to it, so you're not seeing through this one at all. I'm not sure if that comes from just being aged on the oak chips, or if it's something that they did with the malt profile. I'm not sure exactly what they use for the malts in this, so could be a lot of like rye or something. But anyways, that's that.
All right, cool, man. Cheers. And cheers to Ronnie S. First comment says, cheers, LQ and Bumpy. I have a beer with you, but I'm still at work. Yeah, no worries, man. I've actually been thinking about maybe pushing brewery review to maybe like 6 o'clock, because I know 5's a little difficult. It's usually when people are getting out of work. So, as far as people who can join the panel and even comment and just hang out with us, I feel like maybe if I push the time a little bit later, maybe we get a little bit more of a audience and maybe a little bit bigger of a panel. But yeah, awesome, Bumpy.
Awesome. Yeah, it's got fantastic aroma notes to it. Nice aromatics.
Cool.
I'll get into that more a bit later.
The bat squatch and the bat squatch was actually like one of the first New Englands I've had, and I really like that. I bought a 6-pack of those a lot. Me and my buddy used to drink those. We used to just hang out, and I would grab a couple 6-packs. He would grab a couple 6-packs, and the bat squatch was always one of the ones that I would grab, and he'd be like, "Oh, awesome, you got bat squatch," So that's a pretty good beer. But It's cool that Bumpy has the one that he has, because tonight I've actually never had this one before. I got their regular Rogue Dead Guy Ale. It says 6.8% alcohol by volume. I believe it's a Maybach is what the style of beer actually is.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna crack this open, and I got my glass that looks very similar to Bumpy's glass. Didn't plan that, so. But yeah.
Yeah, the thing about their Maybach too being an ale, I guess Maybachs can be ales, but lots of times you'll find them as lagers.
Lagers, yeah, that's different about it. Ooh, it smells good. So got a little bit of water in here. But yeah, let's go for the pour. Check this one out. So looks somewhat like Bumpy's, definitely hazy. I'd say like a honey color. White head, didn't produce much of a head. Looks like it's kind of dissipating pretty quick too. About a finger ahead. Like I said, it's almost already completely gone. But yeah, it's got that nice hazy hue to it. Yeah, definitely honey in color. I think Bumpy's aged in the whiskey barrels gave it a little bit more of that amber tint to it. So it's cool when you're comparing something that's see, you can see his is a little bit darker, has a little bit more of that amber hue. My camera isn't the best, but I can definitely tell that his is a little bit darker from aging in those whiskey barrels. A little bit of a nose. Yeah, lots of toffee. Actually, like vanilla and some fruitiness.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe like a raisin or even apples or something. It smells really good. It smells good.
You basically, yeah, a lot of what you were just saying. That's what I'm getting out of this. That's pretty interesting.
Yeah.
Plus, that yours has got that haze thing that excludes the aging on the wood chips there from making it hazy. So it's definitely something with there.
Yeah, I think it's got to be unfiltered, right?
Yeah.
So, but awesome. Yeah, it looks good. It smells good. It smells nice and sweet and fruity. Let's pull up Bumpy, and Bumpy can do a review on the beer that he's got. I actually see we got another comment. Alex, hey Tanner, can I join? I have a beer. Let me know. Of course you can, Alex. Why are you?
Do you have a beer from Rogue? That's the question.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the aromas, much like Tanner was saying, it's mine has an oakiness like right up front. There's an oak barrel presence, even though this was just aged on the chips, but it still gives off the oaky notes. There is a vanilla nose to it as well, mixing in with that oakiness. There is a bit of I would say like now I did take a sip, so there was a toffee flavor to it. So I can say that I'm picking that up in the nose, but at first I wasn't really picking up the toffee type thing in the nose. But there's a definite fruit note in there, and it does smell a lot like raisin. Maybe like Tanner said, raisin and apple. I'm kind of like raisin and cherry, a little bit like a cherry type nose. Pretty similar aromatic profiles though, being the same beer. Just, I mean, this one's also biffed up in alcohol volume a bit, but yeah, it smells excellent. Cheers.
Cheers, man.
Yeah, right up front, oakiness, nice malt presence in there. It gives off a lot of kind of like sweeter toffee type notes. Vanilla is there along with those kind of toffee type notes, a little bit of vanilla kick, and there's a slight raisin fruit flavor out of it. Bitterness, this one does have a moderate bitterness. It says it's 40 IBUs. for such a big beer that might not look. It doesn't look like a lot on paper, but you can definitely taste the bittering effect on the finish of this one. It's kind of that earthy tone to woody flavors from the hops and the bittering finish. The body on this one seems to be medium carbonations. It's kind of like a lighter side medium carbonation.
Sorry, Alex is messaging me on Facebook.
That's it's fairly balanced from beginning to finish. Sweetest part of it is definitely that toffee note from the malt, the vanilla note that follows suit. The oak is down to earth. The finish is bitter, down to earth. It's a lingering bitterness as well, but it's fairly balanced out. It's not at any point too sweet, and it's not super, super bitter either. Alcohol at 9.5% is not detectable. There's no alcohol flavors in this. There may be a very, very slight warming going into the tummy tums, but other than that, 9.5%, fairly well hidden.
How's the vanilla? You get a lot of vanilla with that one?
Not a lot. This now on their star, it says you're going to get a lot of vanilla.
Yeah.
I think there's more vanilla in the aroma. The vanilla kind of comes in like with that kind of toffee note that you get from the malt.
Yeah. I noticed that on mine too. Yeah, you said it but the barrels, the whiskey barrels definitely must enhance that. So
yeah. There is a little bit of the vanilla kind of sneaks in on the tail end too. If you can get past the bitterness, it is that lingering bitterness. So that's kind of what you're left with.
Yeah.
A lot of the other flavors kind of go away once you swallow down the drink. But there is that touch of vanilla that still kind of plays on the tongue afterwards. But it's very minuscule compared to what the aromatics are of the vanilla. So, but yeah, it's definitely a good drinker. And I'll be thinking of a score for the beer, and I'll keep everything in mind about what I think of the brewery as well. Try to give that a score.
So
all the positive things that I've said about
a quick question for you. Now the sweetness from like the caramel toffee aspect of the vanilla, does that do a good job like rounding out that? Do you get any like oak or like astringency or like any dry aspect on the finish? We got Alex in the basement.
Oh, it's dry. Yeah, it is drying to the palate. It's not. I wouldn't say it's astringent at all. The oak is pretty much just right up front. It kind of finishes off right up front, and then you're getting the toffee, the vanilla, quick hint of vanilla up front. You get the fruit notes, a little bit of that kind of raisin flavor in there, and then it goes into that bitterness, that kind of earthy, woody, spicy toned bitterness, vanilla, detectable a little bit on the tongue after, along with that bitterness, but it's like this compared to the vanilla in the nose, like that. So
yeah.
I was trying to tell you I don't have a beer. That's what I was trying to tell you.
Well, that's fine, Alex. Like I said, have you ever had Rogue before?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's fine. Like I said, you don't. I would like for you to bring a Rogue beer.
That's what I'm saying.
For you to have a Rogue beer ready. But if you have something, if you want to chime in and say something about the brewery once we pull up the website and go through all that, I'm actually going to go through my review now.
Okay. I'm not in a rush.
I'm going to pull myself up really fast, and I'm going to talk about the beer that I have. And I'll after I do my review, I'll think about a rating, and I'll pull up their website, and we can look at their website and look at the beers that they do.
Yeah, and see if I remember any beer that I tried. Yeah, correct.
Yeah, if there's anything that you see, maybe something that kind of stands out to you. And yeah, you can just have your input on the brewery. Like I said, it's a brewery review. I would like for you, the purpose is to bring a beer from the brewery to rate.
That's what I wanted to do.
And then rate the brewery. But if you don't have it, that's perfectly fine. I love seeing you and having you hanging out with us. So
I appreciate it. I would like to do that, though. I would like to bring a beer, though. I really would, like next time. I really would. I appreciate it.
All right. So the Rogue Dead Guy Ale, like Bumpy was saying with his, because they are very similar, because his is pretty much just this aged in the whiskey barrels. I do get that big vanilla note, and there's lots of sweetness from vanilla, caramel, and toffee. There's a little bit of a roastiness to it, but it's not jumping out at you. It's more fruity and sweet with like raisins and apples. Yeah, it seems a little, I don't want to say muted, but it seems a little mellowed out, and you're just getting like that sweet aroma of vanilla and toffee. Everything else kind of just hangs out in the background, and you kind of just get like subtle hints of it on the aroma. But it smells really good. It smells really good. So I'm going to dive into this. Cheers, guys. It's the first time I've had this one. So
cheers.
It's like sticky sweet. So I like to do the Cyclops scale, sugar cubes and hop cones. There's a little bit of like a little bit of like a grassy, earthy floral finish, but it kind of dies off quick. So it'll probably be like 2.5 out of 5 hop cones. Sugar cubes, I would say this is like 4. There's a lot of vanilla. There's a lot of caramel and toffee. The roastiness kind of hangs out in the background. Yeah, it's very sweet for the most part. I think apples is a little bit more prominent on the flavor than the raisin. Yeah, I think it's a little bit more apples. I don't really get much of the dried fruits. It's kind of covered up by the sweetness of the vanilla and the caramel and toffee. It's good. For someone like Bumpy who says that they don't really enjoy that roasty, I wouldn't necessarily say there's coffee in this, but it does have that kind of roasty aspect. But for someone who doesn't really like that roasty flavor, and maybe likes like a little hint of it, I think you would enjoy this beer. If you like really sweet beers, this might be something that you want. Like, say, if you have malt beverages, but they're way too sweet for you, and maybe you're just not a fan of light beer. I could see someone who likes maybe like Oktoberfest, like maybe like Sam Adams Oktoberfest, because that's a really sweet beer. I think you would enjoy this one as well. Carbonation's about medium. It's about medium bodied. Just want to acknowledge some comments. Josh said last beer, I thought Bumpy would bring a double chocolate stout by Rogue and dip a donut in it.
Yeah.
Doesn't sound too bad.
Well, it is bad.
That is bad.
Yeah, I did that on Alex's Food Friday. It was donuts, and I swung by Dunkin' Donuts, and they didn't have donuts because it was near the end of the day, and but they had some left over, so they gave me 2 free donuts. They were stale.
Yeah,
they were just plain donuts, very stale.
That's funny.
And I believe it was the Rogue's double chocolate. It was definitely a stout of some sort that I dipped the donut, the stale plain donut, into the beer, and then I took a bite, and it brought all the acridness out of the beer. It was like sucking on a hop cone, and it was nasty.
Oh, that's rough.
Absolutely nasty.
I started laughing.
Yeah, I almost vomited on.
Then window beer review Thomas. Hi everyone, he says. Good to see you, man. I think I've seen you pop in maybe once or twice on our live streams. So good to have you. Thanks for hopping on the chat, talking to us, hanging out. If you're drinking a beer, let us know what you're drinking. If you're in the comments and you're hanging out, let us know what you're drinking. So yeah, I'll come up with a rating for this one. I will say it's definitely on the sweeter side. I wasn't really expecting that with this beer. I thought it would be more of that roasted malts and kind of going towards like the flavors that you would get with a porter. But it's very sweet. It's I think something like this I could probably have one or two of. I don't think I'd be able to drink a whole 6-pack of these in one night because of the sweetness. I feel like maybe it might start to upset my stomach because of how sweet it is. But it's not bad. I enjoy it. 6.8%. Decent ABV. Definitely not noticeable in the aroma or the palate. Like I said, carbonation is about medium. I kind of wish carbonation was just like a little bit higher, but that's just me. I always like a lot of carbonation in my beer, unless it's like a stout or something. But yeah, I'll pull us up to this screen, and maybe Alex, do you have anything to say about Rogue by any chance?
I've had their beer before, and I'm trying to figure what beer I had.
I think you had the batch squat or the bat squatch.
Bass squawk?
Was it the bat squatch?
Oh, I don't know if I ever had that one. I'll have to take a look at the can. I think.
I know some people have had it on our. I know Miss Lane has had it.
If you're talking about, are you talking about Yeti?
I'll pull up their website. Okay, I'll pull up their website.
Yeah, you just point out the beers that you've had when you see them, Alex.
There you go. That works. All right.
The Rogue, I think, did the Shakespeare stout too.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I do.
That was a good stout. And their Northwestern. I missed that. That was a lovely pale.
So sorry, Tanner. I didn't get a Rogue.
No worries, man. No worries, Alex. What are you talking about, Bumpy? This one? This picture?
What?
No, you were just talking about a beer.
Oh, the Northwestern. They no longer make it. They made it for the crab fishing people, the folks that would go out on the boats and do the crab fishing. That was on TV for a while. They had the Northwest was one of the boats. They made an ale for it, and it was awesome. But I think they stopped producing. I haven't seen it in like, I don't know, a decade.
Hey, Tanner, just to let you know, I do work on Thursdays, and your thing starts at 5. So I'm going to try. I ended up being here because I ended up coming home early because I already done all the flowers. So, if I really want to come, is it possible I can message you, or something to let you know?
You can always show up late. It's fine, man. No worries.
Okay. Awesome.
So, do you recognize any of the cans he was just showing?
I do. I think I recognize the one with the green. It's a green can. It looks like a Christmas thing, but it's not Christmas.
So I'm just gonna read this little blurb they got right here. So it says Rogue brews a variety of ales and lagers at their world headquarters in Newport, Oregon. Brewmaster Joel Shields is brewing up innovative beers and overseeing production on our 100-barrel brewing system. We bottle and can our ales and distribute them in all 50 states and 54 countries. Use the Rogue Finder to hunt down Rogue ales and lagers near you. Which is funny because when I was looking at Beer Advocate, they went by Rogue Ales. So it's Rogue Ales and Spirits, but they do lagers. So that's kind of like the Jack's Abbey. They say Jack's Abbey lagers or whatever, and then they have like another brewery that does ales, which is a little confusing. But
I've had that one can. It's in the what's it called? Not the Dead Guy. I haven't tried that, and I haven't tried the Dead Guy whiskey, so I don't know about that.
I want to pull up Dead Guy. I'm gonna. So it's 6.8.
But the third one I had, the third can, I believe.
The Bat Squatch.
Yeah, see, that was the one that Bumpy was saying.
Yeah, yes.
6.8% ABV, 40 IBUs, 16 SRM. So I think Bumpy's was like 25, 26.
40. Oh, wait. Oh, the SRM, yeah.
SRM?
Yeah, 26. Yeah, same IBUs.
So yeah, the SRM was definitely we could definitely tell that yours had a little bit more of a darker color to it. Style, so Maybach style ale. In style of German Maybach, using our proprietary Pac-Man yeast. Dead Guy is deep honey in color with a malty aroma and rich, hearty flavor. It's supposed to be really toffee, malt, bitter. not very roasty and not very nutty. I don't know if maybe Bumpy got a little bit of a nuttiness on his.
No, no nutty.
Much of that. I think that
Wasn't even mentioned on the star.
Yeah.
No
The nuttiness on mine was, if there was any flavor of it, I think it got overpowered by the sweetness. I wasn't really picking that up. It says ingredients: 2 rows, C15, Munich malts, pearl and sterling hops, free range, coastal water, and Pac-Man yeast, and it's won all these awards. So you can go look at their awards. I'm not going to sit here and read all them. Availability year-round, Dead Guy Halloween packaging, September through October. So this is all the packaging that they do. And like I was telling Bumpy, I believe I was telling him off air before we started, they actually had this specific beer in 4 different packagings. They had it in a 6-pack in rings. They had it in a 6-pack with the cardboard case. They had 6-pack of bottles, and then they had a 4-pack of 16-ounce cans. So I'm not really sure how well they do with this beer, but they did have a lot of packaging. So the Colossal Claude, I haven't had that one. That's an Imperial India Pale Ale. The Fat Squatch, the one that Alex was talking about, this is one of the first New England IPAs I've had. I thought this was really good. 6.7% ABV, 54 IBUs, 12 SRM. It's their hazy IPA. It's more tropical. It definitely that makes sense. Yeah, it was really tropical.
I love my New England IPAs, as you know.
Yep, a little bit of pine and bitter. Not much malt to it, but yeah, it was really good. I enjoyed that one. That's available in 12-ounce 6-pack cans. That's what I was getting them at. So you can get them on draft in a 6-stall. Not really sure what that is. Maybe Bumpy knows what that is.
That's what you would basically use for like I have a Keyser. It's a keg. Yeah.
Oh, it's a keg? Oh, all right.
Kegarita.
So they got this West Coast IPA, Gumbaroo, Newport Days, Hazy Pale Ale. Honeyculture, I've actually had that. I think I did that on vacation. I was on vacation in Florida, and I did a review on that. I believe I enjoyed that one. It was decent. Out of line IPA. It's another West Coast American lager, Dreamland. I've had this one as well, the Rogue Hazelnut.
Never had that one yet.
Wasn't too bad. Chocolate Stout Nitro. Is that the one that you dunk the donut in?
Shakespeare is an excellent stout.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen that one. Is this the one you dunked the donut in?
No, well, I don't like nitro beers, so I stay away from the nitros. Like I wouldn't get the Shakespeare nitro, but they have regular Shakespeare.
Oh, this is the one
that
you
one.
dunked the donut in, right?
Yeah.
I thought they had Yeti. I sworn I thought they had the Yeti series too.
No, Yeti. That's Great Divide.
Old IPA, Raspberry Tartlandia. What is that?
You know,
Sour ale with raspberry, coriander, and hand harvested. Oh yeah, hand harvested salt from Newport's Yaquina something. That's a Yaquina Basie. Okay, that one looks pretty good. A lot of people do the raspberry sours. If they're going to do a sour, it's usually raspberry. I'd like to see them switch it up a little bit. Wombat. That's another sour. Northwest. I swear to God, that says Northeast. Sour Northwest. Does that say North? Oh, it says Northeast. Thought they were doing a little Patrick from SpongeBob joke there. Northwest. So that's another hazy IPA. I've never seen that one. I'm guessing there's a lot of grapefruit flavor with that one. Some of their bomber bottles: Cote de Rogue, Sour Blonde, Cote de Rogue Creek, Cote de Rogue Udrun, Jam Sesh, Blonde Ale, Pumpkin Patch Ale, Rolling Thunder, their Imperial Stout, 13.6%.
Yep. Had that. Actually had the special bottles of those. We weren't supposed to get them in New Hampshire, and we got them. It was the Rolling Thunder, but it was aged in their Habanero whiskey barrels.
Oh yeah.
So, yeah, I got miscellaneous one of them. So miscellaneous is holding.
You still have some now, right, Bumpy?
No, I gave one to John. I drank one and got one for miscellaneous.
Oh, you'll probably get more. knowing you.
So then they got Rogue, Newport Nights, West Coast IPA, brewed with Eldorado hops. Pineapple Party Punch, Hazy IPA brewed with pineapple and toasted coconut. Sounds pretty good.
Oh, I love my coconut. I never had that one yet, I don't think.
This is Imperial Hazy. What's the ABV on that one? 8.6. Not bad. 51. Imperial Hazy, Tropical Citrus. Looks pretty good. A lot of these I haven't seen. I've only really seen, I think I've seen the Bat Squatch, Dead Guy Ale. The Honeyculture is very rare to find around here. But for the most part, I think it was just the hazelnut, the Bat Squatch, and the Dead Guy. Oh, and this one, Colossal Claude, I also see.
Do they have their discontinued beers as well?
I'll have to look at that. I'm not really too sure.
Hey, Tanner, do you have Dead Guy whiskey? Because I would like to try that one day.
Dead Guy whiskey, I've never had. Until today, I did not even know that they made spirits.
Yeah, but you never heard of Dead Guy whiskey?
Not until today.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's what. So I got Bumpy's beer pulled up, Dead and Dead. Gratefully dedicated. Wow, there you go. That's a Bumpyism for you. That sounds like something you'd say, Bumpy.
I did say it because I read it up again.
To the Rogue in each of us. Barrel-aged ale. Our brewers and distillers teamed up to show off the best of both worlds by aging Dead Guy Ale and Dead Guy whiskey barrels. Dead and Dead complements the flavor profile of our classic Dead Guy Ale with oak, vanilla, and fruit notes from the whiskey barrels. Ingredients: 2-row Munich, 2-row R1, Pearl hops, Sterling hops, Pac-Man yeast, and it's available in 16-ounce 4-pack cans. I believe that's what Bumpy bought, right?
Yeah. On the can, it actually spells dedicated correctly.
Oh, really?
Yep.
I would like to try the Dead Guy beers because I love my barrel age, as you know, and
September through October for that one, so that's cool.
Yeah.
Oh,
so I got an old one here.
Yeah, but it's what's it?
It's
But it's
9.5% ABV at age as well.
barrel age.
Oh,
So this is Santa's Private Reserve.
That was gross.
Oh, you tried it? You didn't like it?
Yeah.
What does it say? Ale with, I can't really see from the can. Ale with something vanilla flavor aged on oak rum barrel chip. I'm not sure what this is. Rogue Supply Drop. Oh, so this is a variety pack. Oh, okay. So they got one variety pack, another variety pack. And some of their bombers is an Imperial Pilsner. A little different. Got like a malt liquor, pretty much. Well, no, because it's a Pilsner. So Pilsner's lager, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, it's pretty much like their malt liquor. Yeah, that's cool. I've never seen that one before. Morimoto Soba Ale has unique flavor, medium bodied, and good hop bitterness. Sober Ale. I've never heard of a sober ale. And then Sober Days. Did it say what it was? Hold on, I'm sorry. Signature Ale. I don't know. Design collaboration with Chef Masaharu. Signature Ale with natural flavors. And then this one is a hazy pale ale with natural flavors. So just quickly, I'm going to go over. You can go to Find Rogue and search.
They have a restaurant too. You should see what they have on their food menu because that also helps with the brewery. There's some breweries that have shit food, and there's some breweries that have awesome food.
Stories. So if you want, you can go over here and look at this. Like they have like a little bit of a blog, 39 pages of it too. So you can check that out. The beer we looked at, spirits. Here's the spirits. So they have Dead Guy Whiskey, Rolling Thunder Stouted Whiskey, Oregon Rye Malt Whiskey, Oregon Single Malt Whiskey, Morimoto Single Malt Whiskey. That's probably like a Japanese whiskey or something. That sounds good. Single Barrel Project, a gin, right up Bumpy's alley right there.
Yep.
Pinot Barrel Farmhouse Gin, another gin. And then they have a vodka, which, like you said, I did not know.
Go back to their Rolling Thunder. Do they have their Habanero whiskey?
This one?
Testament edition, distilled rogue, distillery aged barrels built. Yeah, no, they had one because the special one was done in their habanero. I guess they did a special habanero whiskey in the dog.
Bobby, do you want to pull up the website and I'll share you? I just have to use the bathroom really quick. I'll keep going until you can. Well, I do need to use the bathroom. So they have canned cocktails. Did you see what you were looking for? No? Okay. So they have canned cocktails, grapefruit vodka soda, cranberry elderflower vodka soda, cucumber lime gin fizz, ginger lime vodka mule, ginger lemon whiskey mule, lemonade iced tea vodka, canned cocktail party pack, apple pie whiskey fizz, espresso martini. So they also make canned cocktails. CBD seltzers. If you guys are interested in that, I don't really care for that stuff. I just clicked on that one. Our pubs. So it shows you at Newport Ore, Rogue Brewers on the Bay, Rogue Bayfront Public House, Rogue Spirit Sunset Bar, Portland Ore, Rogue Eastside Pub and Pilot Brewery, Rogue Hall, Astoria Ore, Rogue Pier, 39 Public House. Let's see if here you go. So here's a menu. Food menu. Clam chowder, oyster shooter, spiced almonds, rogue hummus. So I think it's just pretty much like appetizers and stuff, right?
Well, that's not good.
Yeah. I agree. Well, that's just that one. Let's see if the other ones have actual food menu. There you go. This one has more of a food menu. Steak bites, killer cauliflower, fries or tots, t-shirts, pretzels, quesadilla, hummus, house-made chicken strips, salad, platters, burgers. There you go. This is the place you want to go to. I think the other place is just like appetizers.
What is this place, Tanner? The same place?
It's the Rogue Eastside Pub and Pilot Brewery.
Where is that at? Rogue.
It says it's in. Where is it? Portland, Oregon, right?
Oh, so if it's in Portland, that might be near Beer Man, I think.
I'm surprised I'm drinking all I have.
I'm not sure.
Hey, Bumpy, would you like to share the screen? Would you like to take the controls for a couple minutes? Or are you still muted?
He's muted.
There's an
There he is.
there's an argument going on, so that was muted.
Oh, okay, all right. I'm sorry. I'll keep going. Yeah, so that's their pub.
15-year-old knows it all.
Oh,
Beer, Bumpy, you're a trip.
what's on tap? Should be on tap.
Yeah, Bumpy.
On tap. You can see their menu. Their beers.
I appreciate you, Bumpy. Don't ever forget that.
Cool. They got a lot of information on this website, which is nice. Hold on, let's go back to the other one. Shit. Back to the last one. Where they got at this one?
I thought you went to that one already. They only had like nuts and stuff.
No, this was the. Oh, so they have the same food that they had at the last one. No,
Okay.
the first one was that. The first one was this Newport Ore.
Oh,
Yeah, that's it's on the bay or whatever, and they just have appetizers and stuff.
well, I mean, it looked like they had fish and chips and burgers and sandwiches and stuff. So,
yeah,
that could be a nice place to go for.
yeah, it looked good. When they had a lot of stuff on tap too.
There's the whiskey of that, not the beer that I'd never heard of with the red and white. That looks like there's a whiskey of it and the beer.
our barrels. This is our barrels. Okay, Rolling Thunder Cooperage growing beer and spirits. Award-winning Rolling Thunder products back, a year in review, meddling with spirits, Rolling Thunder Barrel Works, Rolling Thunder Imperial Stout.
Nice.
Yeah, look, click on the Rolling Thunder thing because I want to see if they have the
Which one?
Rolling Thunder one. It doesn't matter, the whiskey, whatever, because they had a habanero. They made a habanero Rolling Thunder whiskey. I want to see if they still do that or if it was like a one-time thing.
Oh yeah, because you probably want to buy more.
I didn't have it, but I had the Rolling Thunder that was aged in the habanero Rolling Thunder barrels.
Right, in the beer, not the actual. Yeah, yeah.
I don't on that one.
Huh.
Let's see this.
They just write ups on stuff.
Yeah, I don't see it from that. You said it was a whiskey that they did?
It was the Rolling Thunder Imperial Stout, but it was
okay,
aged in. They did a special one that was aged in their habanero Rolling Thunder barrels, whiskey barrels. So they did a special whiskey. It doesn't look like it's a main production thing. It must have been a special occasion type thing.
You could probably ask them to make it though, Bumpy, if you want.
I'm just gonna.
It was good. It had a lot of heat to it.
I'm gonna pull this up like this really quick. I'll be right back, guys. Alex, if you want to talk about maybe a beer that you've had, maybe the Bat Squatch, I'll be right back. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Talk about your Bat Squatch.
Well, that was a good beer. I just haven't had it in a couple months. I mean, probably I think it was a year ago. I don't remember, but I do remember having it. And you know, I love my New England IPAs and my stouts and all that wonderful things. I enjoy it. So that's what's going on there. And then I have it has nothing to do with this brewery, but I also have the Dirty Backwoods Barrel Aged Dirty Bastard. I'm looking forward to having that and all that good stuff. Welcome back, Legendary Bumpy. But I'll have to get that.
Is that all you've had from Rogue? Have you had Rogue's Yellow Snow or anything like that?
I might have, but I don't remember. Yeah. So I'll have to check some Rogue products and maybe review it with you, Bumpy. And with myself as well.
There used to be more Rogue products out there. They seem to be dwindling
out
in the
there.
area.
But... Yeah. Sometimes that happens. Looking forward to having some what's it called? Gushers tomorrow night. I don't know what we should do for next Friday. Legendary Tanner, any news? I'm just trying to think, but I don't think.
What's that?
Any suggestions for next Friday? Because I thought I had something and now I can't remember.
How about egg rolls?
Did we have egg rolls?
I don't think so.
Oh.
We've had Chinese food, but
okay. Maybe next Friday we'll do egg rolls then. I thought we did egg rolls. I might have did egg rolls because of Chinese food, but I don't think. Yeah.
Yeah, look into it. You have time.
Let me look it up real quick. Let's play Columbo, shall we?
I don't know what you guys are talking about.
Food Fridays with Alex. Egg rolls.
All right. Yeah, I feel much better. Okay. All right. So then they have events. Check out their past events. Doesn't look like they have anything coming up soon, but you can go back and you can look at some of the events. Maybe it's something that you're interested in. So go check that out. Maybe in the future they'll do something similar, and you can stop by and hang out with them at their brewery or their 3 different locations. So here's a store. So they got craft beverages, apparel, and hats, accessories, glassware, which is cool. And then they have sales stuff. Let's look at the glassware. Let's look at something a little different. So they got the mule mug, pub glass. That's nice pub glass. That's cool. Rogue IPA glass. That's pretty nice as well. Just some regular pint glasses, shot glass.
I don't see it.
Oh, they have Glencairn. That's pretty cool. They got a whiskey Glencairn. Does it actually say? Oh, I'm getting a little feedback. Okay, it's good now. I wonder if it actually Rogue Spirits Glencairn highlight. Great gift for the whiskey enthusiast. Does it actually say Rogue on it? That would be cool. It doesn't look like it does, though.
It does.
It does?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't see it.
It's at the top in the white. Open your eyes.
I don't see anything here.
Oh, there you go. For some, you know what it is?
Rogue Spirits.
You know what it is? I think the brightness on my computer is a little too high, so I couldn't see it at first. But there you go. Now I can see it. But yeah, that's cool. $9 too. That's cheap because usually those Glencairns are like around $10, $12. So you get one stamped. It's not a bad price. A little tumbler. I like this one.
Oh, that looks like a nice glass.
Yeah, it's nice. It's different. I know I always buy, if I buy new glass for my girlfriend's like, why did you buy that? It's the same as this one. And I'm like, because it's a little different.
And it's part of the beer reviews.
Difference in it. And I enjoy it. And that's something I like to do. You know, if I want to spend my money on glassware and put it in my cabinet and have all these different glasses that I use, that's a hobby of mine and I like doing it. So just like any hobby, why do people buy comic books? Because it's a hobby, But comic books is a little bit different because of course you get different comics and stuff, but that's besides the point. All right, so they got hats, apparel. We looked at all their beer and all their craft beverages. Let's look at their apparel. So I will say that their can art is really cool. So I would assume that they would make some pretty cool apparel. So that one's pretty cool. That's a nice hoodie. I like the color of that one. They got the Honeyculture shirt. Yeah, they got some simple stuff. A little bit on the pricier side. That's kind of what you get when you have breweries that sell clothes. Some of them are a little bit pricier. That's pretty expensive for a flannel, $70. Not bad though, pretty cool. I do like like I said, their can art is awesome. That's always something that I've really enjoyed about Rogue. So yeah, that's their little store they have. Join us. Let's see what that's about. Rogue Nation. Join the revolution.
I probably want you to sign up and send them money.
Yes.
Like a subscription or something. Contact us if you have any questions about anything they're releasing. Maybe Bumpy can say, hey, when are you guys gonna bring back that whiskey aged in the Habanero barrels?
There you go.
Yeah. And then they have privacy notice, terms of use. So yeah, decent looking website. I'll go back to the home. Do that. Go back to the home page.
Tanner, I wish this stuff wasn't so far from me and you, because then we can go.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, yes, you're not too far from me. You're not too far from me yourself, but the brewery is too far from us. So that's not going to help us.
No, I hear you.
Yeah.
But yeah, all in all, I think
we got breweries around us. We got breweries around us to go.
Oh yeah, of course.
Me and you to go to. Yeah.
All in all, I think their website was nice. I did enjoy the fact that they make other stuff like canned cocktails and whiskey. That's always cool to see when they're doing stuff like that. But yeah, I'll have my rating for the brewery, and we'll pull Bumpy up, and Bumpy can talk about his beer, give us his last thoughts, and let us know what his rating for the beer is. And might as well throw out a rating for the brewery as a whole. So
yeah. So this Dead and Dead, I've had it before. I enjoyed it enough to buy another 4-pack of it. Pretty much hits on a lot of the notes that they state that you're gonna get out of it. It's an easy drinker. It's not too one way. Like I said, it's a pretty can't think of the word now, but it's an even drinker. It's not too sweet. It's not too bitter. So well balanced. There we go. Pretty well balanced. And just easy to drink. Good flavors to it. 9.5% ABV. Doesn't taste like a 9.5 ABV, but you kind of feel a little bit of that warmth. Not bad at all. Good, and like I said, I really enjoyed the flavor notes out of it. The aroma notes are even better than the flavor notes. But I'm going to score it a 95 out of 100 because I think for what they did with this one, everything's just coming through like what they expected. It's good. For the brewery itself, there's some things I dislike about the brewery, and there's a lot of good things. Like their website seems to be pretty easy to navigate, well put together. There's lots of information on it. It's all positive. They got lots of different events and things going on with their merchandise, like glassware. Talks about the different locations they have. The food menu looks pretty decent for the ones that have decent food menu to them, the two of them. So, I mean, that's like 66%. So that's not bad at all. Some of the downers I would say about the brewery are a few of my favorite beers I've had from them in the past. They don't make anymore. So but that seems to be the ongoing thing with some of these larger breweries is they stopped making some of the beers that kind of brought them up, the beers that everybody really loved. And then they just seem to stop making them for some reason. And it's probably due to like what's selling, what's bringing in more money, what's cheaper to make, everybody seems to be so worried about their profit line versus keeping everybody, even the minority of super crafty drinkers, extremely happy. So you're not going to understand that you don't want to fold because you're trying to produce beers that just aren't bringing in profit. But damn it, they're a large enough brewery. I think that they're not going to sink because of keeping some of their great beers going. So for the brewery overall, I think I'm going to land it at a 95.
What would you give the beer itself?
I give it a 95 as well.
95.
Oh, okay.
Cool. Awesome.
I have had some real stinkers from them, but
yeah.
Unfortunately, that's what any brewery though. Legendary.
Yeah, that's one thing. I don't know. I've had the brewery that I've been hyped up on. I haven't had a bad one.
You're talking about those beers I want to try.
Proclamation.
No, get that too. But there's
I'm talking about Proclamation. I haven't had a bad beer by them yet.
What about Drecker?
Drecker, I've only had the brains. I've only had 2 brains. I've had the strawberry prickly pear guava and the mango guava lime coconut one. So those are the only.
Hoping to get those Drecker beers so I can review them with you, my friend. Hoping.
Yeah, that'd be awesome, man.
Yeah.
So yeah, thanks, Bumpy. Appreciate you dropping a rating on your beer in the brewery. I'm gonna go ahead and throw up a rating on the brewery and my beer. I like this beer. It is very good. I think it's just very sweet. It's one of those. It starts to get like cloying, I believe, as Bumpy and Miscellaneous have brought up before. Some of those beers that are just too sweet, they start to get cloying. So yeah, I'll give this one around. I'll say like a 90. It's good. It's got some good flavor to it. I wish there was just a little bit more of a roastiness and a little bit more of a carbonation, and maybe just kind of dial it back on the sweetness of the beer. But it's good. $2 for a single bottle, not a bad price at all. Most of their beers are priced pretty well. Like the Bat Squatch, I believe, is around $11 for a 6-pack, and that's around I think that's like a 6.7 New England IPA. It's a good price. And Bat Squatch is definitely a New England style beer that I will stand by. And if someone's just says, hey, what's a good New England beer that I can get that's readily available and somewhat popular, so it might be easier for other people to find, I'd recommend Bat Squatch. So, and the can art's cool too. The can art on the Dead Guy Ale, the one that Bumpy had, Bat Squatch, I really enjoy the can art, and that's always something that I'm a really big fan of. When I go and look at beer, that's always something that pops out to me is the can art. So yeah, whoever's doing that can art, whoever's making those designs is doing a great job, and keep it up. For a rating for the brewery, I'd like to see them maybe come up with a little bit more unique stuff and maybe get their distribution on. So they are widely distributed. They said that they did distribute to 50 states, but I'd like to see more of their uncommon, less popular beers. So that's definitely a downfall. I'd like to see some other stuff by them. It's for the past since I've been drinking for the past 5 years, I've only really seen three different beers from these guys. And if you look at their beer list, it's not huge, but they do have a lot of other ones that I would definitely like to try. So distribution is always difficult, especially if you're going to 50 different states and you're trying to get a big variety. So I'd like to see some of their other stuff down here. For a rating for them, they have, like Bumpy said, they had a decent food menu, and they have a very nice website, easy to navigate through. And you can sit there, and if you're a fan of Rogue and you enjoy their beers, you can go on their website and check out their stuff, look at their events. Maybe they got something in the future. Hopefully they'll post more stuff. I know with what's been going on in the world, it's a little bit harder for people to have events and set events. But yeah, as a brewery overall, I think I'll give them like a 93. Their price is good. The availability from what they have that's popular is good. And yeah, like I said, I believe I said 90 for the beer, 93 for the brewery, and like I said, Bat Squatch was one of the beers that I got into New England style IPAs with, and me and my buddy, we would most of the time I would grab a 6-pack of that, and he would always be very excited for me to bring that over and hang out, and he would do beer reviews with me and stuff. He has a daughter that's like 4 now, so it's hard for me and him to hang out and catch up, but that's life. So
does he have a YouTube channel?
No, he does not.
Damn
I was gonna say, damn kids, they ruin everything.
No, not exactly. Because not exactly. Because you see people do beer reviews anyway.
No, he's happy. He's got a good job, and he's married, and he's got his daughter. So I'm happy for him.
And I bet you, the daughter's awesome. I bet you.
Reviews together. That's all right though. Maybe in the future when his daughter's grown up, we can start doing a little bit more reviews.
Or when he's not up in his ass in alligators, he can help you. Yeah.
So I'll pull up Alex. Alex, you got anything to say? I know you don't have a beer, but do you have a rating you would like to throw out for Rogue? Because I said 93. I believe Bumpy said 95.
I like New England IPAs. If I remember correctly, I think that beer was probably good. It's been a while. I'll have to revisit it. But I'd give it a 95, 96.
The beer?
Yes.
Okay. Now, what do you think about the brewery as far as looking at their website and like their food menu and their availability?
I think the brewery looks like they have wonderful, wonderful beers. As you've said earlier, Tanner, that they should bring out their specialty beers like they do sometimes or whatever. I think that would be amazing because I love the specialty beers. I mean, not just that brewery, with any brewery. I mean, I love special beers.
Now, what would you, if you just had to, from your recollection of that beer, and maybe something, maybe like looking at the website and just, what would you give for a rating for them?
I'd give them a 97.
Oh, really?
Well, because they have great. Looks like they have great beers.
And their can art is cool.
So as of right now, they'll get a 97. We'll go back. I don't know. We'll see if it'll be a fallback. But as of right now, we'll see what happens. Appreciate you.
All right. Awesome, man. Cool. All right. So I'll bring us back to this. So we'll just do a little recap. So for my beer, I gave it a 90. For the rating for the brewery, I give it a 93. For Bumpy gave his beer, I believe, a 95. Yep. And then for the brewery, he gave it a 95 as well. Alex gave his the Bat Squatch that he's had in the past He didn't actually bring it to the show, but from what he remembers, he said he would give that beer like a 95, right? And then he gave the brewery a 97. So I'm pretty sure that's just going to land us in 95 for the rating for the brewery, but we'll just do the math on the phone really quick. So and then divided by 3. So yeah, 95. So for a rating for the brewery overall as a whole, between 3 different panel members, we're going to give the rating for Rogue Ales. We're going to give it a 95 out of 100. So these guys, they do some good stuff. I think what I really do enjoy about them is they're right along the lines of what Sierra Nevada is doing. They're coming out with great beers that is affordable, and we would like to see people. Sticking to that affordable range and not getting crazy in prices. Of course, when you add all these adjuncts and you add all these extra ingredients, it does get pricey. But it's nice to see breweries keeping that price for their beers at an affordable cost, because a lot of us, we can't be buying $20 4-pack every time we want to drink craft beer. So it's nice to see guys doing stuff like this. Josh, just a couple more. We'll go through shout outs after now, but just want to acknowledge what people have said in the chat. Josh says, I have a confession. I sell Rogue beer. That's cool, man. He said, I'll give my beer a 96. And was that the other half? I believe he's drinking. He's drinking the other half. So, yeah, we'll go around, and Bumpy can shout out on his channel. Anybody else that he would like to shout out? And, yeah.
Alex's Food Friday. No, I got
you could if I'm not around. Appreciate you.
Yeah, 50-point inspection videos. They come out Wednesday and Friday. Those are my beer reviews, just based off of a 50-point scale versus a 5, a 10, or 100. Just a little different way of doing it, going through different aspects of the beer too, and not just basing it off of, I like the way that this beer smells and tastes. It's appearance of the beer, it's the aromas, it is the flavors, but it's also the body of the beer. Does the body match up to what it should be? Does it feel, and then my overall feeling of the beer. So everything kind of goes into giving it a score. So sometimes there's beers that may not taste the best, but they still score okay because they have a lot of other things going for them. The aromatics are really good. The appearance of it's good. Whatever it is. I think it just helps to give it a more fair score, and it definitely helps me with giving it a score, and not just saying it's crap if it's something that I'm just like, I don't really like it, because there might be some other things out there about the said beer, and there's probably people out there that enjoy the beer a lot more than I'm enjoying a certain beer. But it's not like I hate all beers. I'm just this just helped me not hate beers. It's a good tool for me, anyways. 50-point inspection videos. My live stream is on Monday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It is called New Brew. That's just a live show where everybody brings a beer that they've never had before to join up on panel. I do try to ask a question or two of the panel each time I have the show. So I'll try to think of a question to ask, but I do welcome in the panel members coming up with a question, or people in the chat to also throw out a question as well, because I'll quite possibly use a question that somebody has in the chat for the panel to ask them, just because coming up with questions sometimes is difficult. And
Sure is.
I don't go in there with a list of questions already pre-made. It's like, nothing's premeditated during the show. It's pretty much just at whim. And so far, we've lucked out. We've had some questions. So, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, start of the show. Other than that, I will shout out Miscellaneous Brew Reviews. He should be coming up sometime tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. He does his Thursday beer session. So he'll do a live stream Sometimes he changes it up and he'll do a different structure of whatever it's going to be on Thursday. But I believe tonight should be him reviewing anywhere from 3 to 4 different beers. And yeah, join up in the chat, talk to him, say hello. And I will leave the other shout outs up to everybody else.
True that, legendary Bumpy.
Cool, Bumpy. Thanks for being here, man. I do appreciate you stopping by and hanging out and throwing up a rating for the brewery and the beer. So, yeah, Alex will pull you up. Shout yourself out. Shout anybody else out. And, yeah, go for it.
Next round, I'll have a beer. Again, I know Tanner doesn't mind me being around a beer, but I think it'd just be more proper. About or whatever that brewery is that at that time. So, yeah, Food Friday, we're going to be doing Gushers. If you don't know what Gushers are, and when you were kids, you used to eat Gushers, these little, or whatever, how long they've been around. Those little candies, and they're like gummy things, and they're you've seen the yellow bag, and it has
with the fruit liquid or whatever.
Yeah. So they're Gushers. So enjoy them tomorrow, which will be tomorrow, 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time on my channel, Alex the Beer Master. And then the other shout outs will be John and Nelly, Georgia Beer Reviews. If you don't know what Georgia Beer Reviews is, if you don't know what John and Nelly is, just look up Georgia Beer Reviews. And then he does Stout Sunday at 10:30 Eastern Standard Time in the morning. So get your stouts on and get your porters on. Enjoy them. Appreciate you.
Awesome, Alex. Cool, man.
Yep.
All right. So I'll pull myself up. And shout out. Actually, I'm not too sure what we're going to be doing next week. Maybe I should get a little bit more on top of that of what we're going to be reviewing as a brewery. But I like to do things that are popular. I like to do things that everybody can get their hands on, a little bit more popular breweries. So it's easier for panel members to grab stuff and hang out with us and review a beer. So Thursday, we'll probably be doing it again at 5 p.m. next week. Brewery reviews. I like to talk with the group chat, our beer community group chat. I like to talk to other people and maybe get their insight on what they think we should do as a brewery. So that's next week, Thursday, 5 p.m. Like I said, I'll talk over with the group chat and everybody, and we'll figure out what brewery we're going to be reviewing. Saturday, come check me out, 8 p.m. We're doing Rate That Beer. It's going to be, you can bring any beer. Also, sorry, not to jump back, but with brewery reviews, if it's a beer that you've had from a brewery in the past, from a brewery that you've already had before, it doesn't have to be brand new to you. I just like to bring new stuff that I've never tried from these breweries. But if it's something that you've had before and you enjoy it, you could always bring that and you can talk about it and rate it and throw up a rating for the brewery. Saturday, Rate That Beer. Kind of the same, just bring a beer that you want to talk about. It doesn't have to be new. And yeah, just throw up a rating. If maybe you haven't been able to talk about it online, it could be new to you, kind of like Bumpy's show. A little bit more structured, but we like to hang around, and depending on how many people, we could do 1 or 2 beers. And yeah, stop by Saturday, 8 p.m. As far as other people, Thursday, also check out Leprechaun TV at 9 p.m. He does his hot seat, so go check that out. Beer Man on Tuesday does his beer and cheese. I forgot exactly what beer and cheese is. Do you remember, Bumpy? Oh, it's open panel, right?
Open.
And then Wednesday, he does his I Like Your Style, and it was. Do you remember what I Like Your Style is?
Goats.
Goat. Anything that's like goat related, so like Maybach, Bach, Doppelbock. So grab something like that. Go hang out with Beer Man. Even if you're just in the chat and you want to talk about a beer that reminds you of a goat, like a Bach or something. So go check him out on Wednesday. Whiskey Encore on Tuesday. Check him out as well. 11 to 12. He does his live pub. His name is Cheech. He's a cool guy. Go check him out. some other people at FLX Beer Reviews. Dan was the guy that I hung out with. Him and his buddy Mike do beer reviews. Check them out as well. Anthony from Bangin' Beer Podcast. Him and his buddies, they do a beer podcast. Go check them out. They're cool dudes. And yeah, I hope I'm not forgetting anybody. And if I did, Fandango Friday tomorrow with Ron Terrio, 6:30. Check him out as well. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I hope I didn't forget anybody. And if I did, I apologize. I like to try to recap and get everybody that I know and everybody that's doing live streams. All of us were big fans of beer. I don't always do beer reviews. I also do whiskey and other liquors and beverages and stuff. So if you're into that stuff, come check out my reviews. I got some whiskey reviews lined up and some other stuff, maybe like a vodka or two that I got to toss out there. I like to do things that are new. So people, you go out and you don't want to spend your money on something that you might not like. You get my opinion on it. My opinion might not be your opinion, but I'll just throw out my opinion for you guys. And yeah, just come and hang out with me, watch my reviews, check out all these guys, Bumpy Road Brewery, Alex Beermaster. And yeah, thank you guys for stopping by. I do appreciate the panel for being here, Bumpy Road and Alex. Also, I'd like to acknowledge the chat really fast. Josh from last year has been chatting up a lot. Window Beer Review, Thomas, check him out. Josh has actually did a live stream beer review, so go check out his videos. He's a cool dude. Alex commented. And Ronnie S as well. Ronnie S, check him out as well. He also he's on a lot of live streams. Does he do beer reviews himself? No,
he doesn't have a channel himself.
He's just more on like the live streams, hanging out and stuff.
Yeah, he's more of an observer.
Okay. Yeah. Appreciate the chat. Appreciate the panel. Thank you guys for stopping by. Thank you guys for hanging out. And I'm going to let Alex do the honors of signing us out tonight. So
I always do for my people whenever it's okay. All right. This sounds the Beer Master, and this is what Tanner does too, because he does the same thing. This sounds the Beer Master. We will see you all on the next live stream and next video. Sucks Beer Master signing out.
Now I have to hit the button while I'm spinning.
Button spin.